Alright, hello everybody. My name is Robert, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Mandela Effect. Now, I think everybody has that one thing, that one Mandela Effect that stands out to them, that kind of makes it real to them. And for me, that big one that I already kind of knew was the Lindbergh Baby. And I gotta say, when I first saw that, I got fucking chills when I was watching somebody's video and they said that they found the Lindbergh Baby. Now, of course, I wasn't alive during that time, but I knew it as fact that the Lindbergh Baby was never found. And the funny story behind that is about 6 months before I saw that kid's video, I was sitting with my girl and we were talking about Amelia Earhart and how she disappeared. And I was telling my girl about how the guy who used to fly with her, Lindbergh, about how his son disappeared, was kidnapped, and never found. And 6 months ago, before I saw that video, when I'm telling her about this, I pulled up all this information on it, and I already knew a lot about it, about how the baby was kidnapped, never found. That was the big thing, never found. And how they did end up catching a guy and put him to death for the kidnapping, even though they never found the kid. And I have a couple of videos I want to show you that play into that whole narrative and show that that once was the story. Now, when I went and found all this stuff on the phone, all this information, like I couldn't find a picture of the Lindbergh Baby, and the story was pretty much how I knew it. And, I told her about it. So I gave her that information. 6 months later, I'm watching this kid's video, and he asks if the Lindbergh Baby was ever found. And I'm like, no, of course not. And he's like, yeah. And he put up a picture of him, and I was like, oh my God, I got fucking shivers from seeing that. And so I went back, looked up the information, and the information was different. Like it had changed. Now there was all these pictures of Lindbergh Baby, when the first time I went to go look for it, I couldn't find any pictures of him. And the whole story has changed. The big thing, now they found his body. Way back in the day, they found him. So that being said, if they found him way back in the day, there shouldn't be any evidence of, modern TV shows or anything playing as if, he was never found. At least that's how I feel. But I want to show you a couple of clips. First, I want to start off with this Family Guy, where Peter's making a joke about the Lindbergh Baby and the fact that he was never found, and also the fact that Amelia Earhart disappeared. Once again, disappeared, never were found.
Baby.
Charles, he's only 6 months old.
Honey, would you relax? God, I flew across the Atlantic by myself. I'm a national treasure, for God's sake. I think I know how to... Ah! Oh, God! Oh, God! All right. He was kidnapped. You call the police. I'll write the ransom note.
What about Amelia? She saw everything.
You leave her to me.
So again... Let me get this. That was the whole joke when the baby gets flushed down the toilet, was that the Lindbergh Baby was never found, Amelia Earhart was never found, so they tied the two in about them disappearing. Now, if the Lindbergh Baby, was dead, they found the body, the joke is just out of place and doesn't make sense. Now, I have another clip from a great show, if you haven't seen it, Duckman from the 90s. In this, I'm going to go ahead and play the clip, and then I'll talk about it. You already know.
And so, needing to uncover something unsavory about Dillweed in order to hold on to his children, Duckman rededicated himself to becoming a good detective by going back to his detective school roots. His investigation left no stone unturned. Along the way, uncovering something called the Ark of the Covenant. Someone called the Lindbergh Baby. And the secret ingredients.
And again, so when Duckman starts to be a great detective, he finds the Lindbergh Baby, an old man, because this is the 90s. So for all we knew, since he just disappeared, he could have been growing up somewhere, and he found the Lindbergh Baby. Because again, in the history that I know and the way that I understand it, he disappeared, was kidnapped, and was never seen again. Now, again, if you go look at the information now, they found his body. So you tell me, you just heard the jokes. You heard the way they were told. You tell me it sounds like the Lindbergh Baby was never found, and that's the way I've always known it. And I think that's the way it was at some point. I don't know, like, what's going on with these changes, but that was the thing that made the Mandela Effect very real to me.